All right. This is Drew back for the third entry in my Signalis playthrough. Let's get started. Seemingly cannot remain in focus. There we go. That's better. 201 Protector's Maintenance Office. Took me 2 hours to get to the start of this level. So I think I've started to get the hang of it a little bit as far as the combat, and so we're going down to floor 6. Let's see. What is the button to do that? C. We do not have that key. We burnt everybody in this room. Oh. Okay. 421-C. Looks like these are shooting range rankings, and the Star series has the entire leaderboard. Wait, we only have one spot left. Crap. There's 2 things here. Don't want to get rid of the stun prod. Can't use this here. Einhorn. Hunter. It's locked with a small okay. So this is just taking up space for now. Luckily those stack. Nope. See, it's in this on the right. And okay, we burned that one. That's what that's for. Nice. Okay. Save that for later. That's gonna be something we probably need to use. Okay. Pick up the owl key. Yeah. That was floor 6, I want to say. The overview. Yule. Simple universal light replica. Owl. Generation 4 low-cost general purpose. Biomechanical with polyethylene shell. Same size as our Adler right here. 175. Yules are the backbone of the Yusin nation's workforce. Yusin? These elegant multi-purpose worker units are suited for all kinds of domestic tasks like cleaning, cooking, and simple medical and office work. Mules are highly social and get along well with each other, as well as most other replica models. While unfit for combat, their lightweight frame makes them a prime choice for distant facilities where supplies are limited. Alright. Moving on. Let's go over here down to the left. Nope. Island key. Colibri in the management office. One of the Colibris has holed herself up in the management office on the 7th floor. I've seen her in her illusions sitting inside the room, crying. Which one is the real one? I think it's because of that painting in there. Whenever I was close to her, I felt like my mind was being assaulted by the image of that island. The sensation was strong enough to make me hurl. Is there a way to neutralize the transmission? Maybe some sort of feedback loop of the frequency of her control signal? We already took care of that person. Veneta, cradle of humanity. That's what the weapons case needed. I don't want to be greedy, but is there anything else in here? Just checking. Just wanted to shine my light over there. And this is where we got the fuse, I want to say. Yeah. You can leave here. Let's go check out that new weapon. I have a feeling, given what we've picked up, what it's gonna be. Island key and owl key, alright. Cool. The short-barreled, double-action, 6-shot revolver that fires 12mm high-power ammo. High recoil, strong knockback. EU K508S Einhorn. High damage, knocks back enemies, and shields with ease. Okay, we're gonna want to carry that for all these shield people. Should we save it for a boss? Well, I mean, it specifically says shields, so let's put the shotgun away. Not pistol, revolver. Okay. And let's actually equip it. So we have the owl key, island key. We have this. Use island key, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Right, which one was workshop? Got no doors that need to be unlocked here. That's library. We haven't gone into there yet. Floor 8. Needed eagle for that. Workshop. That's floor 6. So we'll go up there. Post box. We don't have anything for that yet either. Alright, floor 6. Onward. Portable audio tape player with a knife embedded in the speaker. We read a note about how much this person hated the song. Yeah, but... yes. I can put 2 and 2 together. Okay, so yeah, that's not gonna work. It's got a knife in it. So we've already been through that. We're gonna go over, down, down, and then over. Okay. No, nope, nope, nope. Didn't want to try to open the locked door. I wanted to stop that thing. Nice. Radio tape deck unit wired up to the broadcasting unit. Small radio broadcasting unit set up to broadcast the tape deck's input signal on frequency 142 kilohertz. Let's see what this annoying song is. How do we do it again? Yeah, it's not my kind of music. But I don't really think it's annoying either. Replica known issues, part 2. Previous experience with these replica models has given us insight into irregularities in their behavior that stem from the original neural patterns used for these units. Due to the sensitive nature of this information, this document should be destroyed after reading. Despite their normally laid-back demeanor, stars have a strong internal hierarchy, which is important to take into consideration when promoting units to officers. Not promoting a respected unit or promoting a unit low in status can lead to friction within dorms. Stars will occasionally develop in-group rules involving physical punishments. It is recommended to allow some officers to own military weapons as fetish objects to stabilize their persona. It's an odd sentence. It's recommended to allow some officers to own military weapons as fetish objects to stabilize their persona. Storage units initially have a short temper. Training them in patience early after deployment is key, as their neural pattern is less stable than other models. Failing to do so may yield an extremely volatile personality prone to cruelty and violence. A common strategy is pairing them closely with an older star unit. Storch's persona stabilizes by showering or bathing. Books on history or mythology work well as fetish objects. Okay, so it's just trying to keep them stable, I guess? Oh, is that something? I almost missed it. Then we didn't. Almost missed that. Okay, what do we have? We don't have any key items anymore. This floor is cleared. Right? Except for the post box. This is it. The owl music to her. on floor 8. Strangely peaceful. Guess it was a microphone, not a speaker. Which one was Hummingbird? That's enough of that. We are out of here. We haven't opened this over here. And then there's this in the dark. Oh no. All right. That was costly. Storch. This is a Tolly. Each cadre of Protector security technicians is overseen by a controller unit, the most common of which is the Storch. Or is it Storch or Stork? I'm gonna keep calling it Storch. One of the tallest replica models, thanks to their extended legs. Okay, I get it now. Storks figuratively and literally keep a constant bird's eye view of any situation. Ready to direct and coordinate their assigned security technicians. Their tough, no-nonsense demeanor, though sometimes described as brutal and even cruel, makes them the perfect fit as unwavering sentinels of order. Storks. Lots of stuff. Okay. We'll turn on. Gotta love that. Operational procedures, control. Aeon Guideline 176 for the deployment of operational procedures. Operational psychology. In order to reliably protect the safety of our nation, Aeon must develop and deploy procedures and technologies to maintain complete control over all replicas in service of the nation. Just like with gestalts, procedures involving operational psychology are highly effective for behavior control of replicas. The primary advantage of replicas over gestalts is predictability. All newly deployed replicas of a model are virtually identical both physically and psychologically. As they all share the same memories under the same circumstances, a newly deployed Yule unit will practically always react in the exact same way. However, as soon as a unit encounters new situations, it will begin to deviate from the original pattern. In some cases, this may lead to the unit being less efficient for its intended purpose. This is called persona degradation. Using a wealth of private information about the life of the gestalt each neural pattern is based on allows us to ensure optimal, uniform post-deployment development of each unit. In simpler terms, our primary objective is the focused manipulation of the individual to ensure they remain as close to the original pattern as possible, and thus productive, loyal, and docile for as long as possible. This is called persona stabilization. Stabilization can come in many forms, and usually takes on the form of regular activities or fetish objects that distract and calm the replica. Until the development of bioresonance technology that allows wide-scale direct behavior control, the methods of operational psychology still remain the most reliable way to control both replicas and gestalts in the interest of the protection of national security. I can't read. Natural security. Oh, we can't even pick up all the revolver ammo. Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be down in the mine? Flashlight. Let me take a look. Try it now. Can you believe this? All these files. They think they know us so well. So much talk about persona, stabilization. In the end, they just want us to shut up and work until we die. What a joke. What do you mean you don't remember me? Did you hit your head? I'm staying here. No chance I'm ever going back to work. Hey, Javier. It's my little orange boy. I have a different cat on my lap right now. I don't know if this camera will pick her up, but Javier is kind of upset that he's not the one in my lap. I only have so many laps. One, to be exact. Cat in my lap is not my cat. Although one of my friends says it definitely is my cat now, but it belongs to my cousin. She belongs to my cousin. Let me in. I'm watching this cat because he's in the process of getting set up in New York. Okay. I'm gonna pause briefly to down some water because I see like 4 files in this room. Give me a sec. All right, I'm back. While I got up, we had a little cat replacement. This is Javier. He is just having the time of his life right now, being on my lap. Hey, bud. I'm camera shy. Aww. Now he's my baby. I've had him since early 2018. Now we're in early 2020. I've had you for 6 years, bud. He was just a little kitten when I got him. One of my friends is a veterinarian. Now she's his veterinarian, but when she was in her vet residency, some asshole had broken Javi's leg purposefully, and she did the surgery, and I never had pets growing up. So she was like, Drew, you need a pet. Take this one, I just did a surgery. He has been the sweetest, nicest boy. And he's been super healthy, except for last year he scared the shit out of me. He has like Hank Hill syndrome, where he has this narrow little urethra, and I guess he got like a kidney stone or something, and it plugged him up, and I was like, dude, are you alright? So I went down to, luckily where I live, there's like a university with a vet school. And they have a 24-hour vet emergency room. They're like, if you were a half hour later, this cat would have died. I'm like, holy shit. But now he just eats special food. That's been a little over a year ago. Now he just eats special food to keep those little stones away. And he's as healthy as can be. And I'm very thankful for that. Back to the game. Replica Known Issues Part 1. Previous experience. Okay, this intro is the same. Yules tend to form large groups and like to sing and dance, as the original neural pattern for this unit was a ballet dancer. Persona degradation can be easily prevented in this unit by making sure they have access to music. through tape players or musical instruments. Always place at least one mirror in Yule dorms, as they have a strong urge to check their own appearance at regular intervals. Yule's persona stabilizes by keeping a tidy appearance and through regular social interactions. Yules will often organize in groups of roughly 10 units and give each other themed nicknames. Auras. Even though they may seem like quiet simpletons, do not underestimate auras. While they may not show it, they judge those who are rude or unkind harshly and will quietly share this judgment with their entire cadre. Auras get along best with Yules, who tend to be patient and friendly, and have a talent for reading Auras' expressionless faces. In many facilities, Auras will construct service tunnels accessible only to them, often under floors and in walls. Unstable units may retreat into these tunnels. It's not recommended to attempt to retrieve them. I'm guessing that the one that we ran into down there was an Aura. Maybe it said that above their name. Her name, but as her name, I mean. But yeah, not recommended to attempt to retrieve them. Aura personas can be best stabilized by allowing them access to plants to take care of. Ideally colorful flowers or trees. Man, Javi, you need a Furminating. He is just pluming hair. I just Furminated him like yesterday morning. Man, it's that like character from fucking Peanuts with like the cloud around him. That's him, but cat hair. There is on the desk. If I move the camera that way, it'll ruin the green screen, but there is a little standoff going on where my cousin's cat wants back on my lap. Javi does not want to give it up. They are staring each other dead in the eyes. You might get to see some action, is what I'm saying. Colibri. Commando Control Unit Bioresonance Technology Replica. Hummingbird. Generation 6 High-Tech Bioresonance Specialist. Frame, biomechanical with polyethylene shell and bullet-resistant armor plating. Height, 152 centimeters. That's a shorty for this. That's like a 5-footer. A marvel of modern technology, the Colibri is the most capable bioresonance unit ever produced. Every Protector Falk unit is aided by a cadre of Colibri unit adjutants, which can amplify her bioresonance signals as well as produce their own. Despite their diminutive build, Colibris are one of the most effective Protector units. Able to directly influence the minds of replicas and gestalts, extract information non-verbally, and communicate among themselves instantly in the full bandwidth of senses, the Colibri's bioresonance is the closest recreation of a true hive mind. Alright. Oh, Eagle Key. Colibri's note. Keep an eye on Adler. He's hiding something from us. There was nothing in his diary, but when I probed his mind, there were memories of an Elster unit working at Sierpinski. There's no record of that model of replica ever being deployed here. An order for a single unit for some survey work in the mine was briefly considered, but no new orders were made due to the commander's sickness. If we recall, we are an Elster unit. And I believe that the Adler had claimed that we... concerning amount of half-empty glass cups with remains of tea in them. He claimed that we are coming back. Maybe he's got some future vision. 100. Come on. All right. We got some keys to use. Anything else in here? Doesn't look like it. So that is the door we want to go into. Okay, okay. Scary. Used to equal key. Oh man. Lots of files again. Let's go. Adler's Diary. 7 pages, Jesus. I have been fascinated by a peculiar piece of furniture I discovered in storage. A strange box with a removable dial in the front that was confiscated from a worker some time ago. I was instantly drawn to it, though I'm not sure why. When I put my ear on the mechanism, I could hear it faintly clicking like a clock. 8421-7. Without Calibri's help, it has become much harder to coordinate the logistics cadre. If there's anything good to say about that woman, it is how she knows how to make others respect her orders, despite her minuscule stature. I went to see her today, but her room is still locked. 8421-8. I had a dream tonight. Another memory of my Gestalt life, I believe. I was wearing my uniform. There was a young woman, her hair white as snow, and I was conducting some sort of test. I had a deck of cards with astronomical symbols on them, and asked her to guess the planet on the card I was holding. I was 8421-9. I was playing with that mechanical lockbox again, of which I am now sure is some kind of astronomical calendar, when I suddenly remembered a conversation I had with another replica when I was inspecting the mining site. However, it was clearly a model I've never seen before, some type of engineer with an orange chess piece. Maybe us. In my memory, she was just another member of our staff, but no such replica was ever stationed on Sierpinski. Replica memory is not the most reliable, they say, but never before have I experienced such a strange phenomenon. 8421-A. The little enigma of that box could only distract me from the chaos around me for so long. All the box contained was a small notebook, of which all pages turned out to be blank. It has been miserable since our beloved commander has fallen ill. I long for her stern guidance, that overwhelming authority in which she bathes the room. 8421-B. More sick, making my work ever harder. How are we meant to shoulder this workload with no reinforcements? My only consolation is that as our protector staff decreases, so does the workforce we oversee. While more and more replica end up in the hospital wing, Gestalt workers seem to succumb much too fast for any attempts at treatment. 8421-C. Another diary filled, for no benefit but my own satisfaction. I've not ordered a new one yet, since I spent my saved ration marks on that marvelous-looking fountain pen, but I guess I'll make use of that notebook. The one in the box. Let's read this before we go to the puzzle. Elster. That's us. Biomechanical with carbon fiber reinforced polyethylene shell and titanium skeleton. 178 centimeters. So that's, what, like 5'10"? Yeah. 10 inches. 70 inches? Yeah, it's like 5'10". A versatile combat engineer unit primarily designed for orbital service. These tough and stoic loners are best suited as specialist sappers and scouts. Their technical knowledge and combat capabilities make these units true survivalists, especially when in their iconic white and blue heavy combat configuration, which supports bullet-resistant armor plating on their chest and forearms. Since the original neural pattern for this unit was lost with the destruction of the Central Neural Archive on Veneta, new Elster units have been produced based on a decommissioned unit from the Penrose program. Believe that our... Double check before I start spouting nonsense. Get used to hearing that beep for a minute. We are from the Penrose program. And we are an Elster. So maybe we are the template of all the Elsters in this world. Okay. Do we have the Library key, did we pick that up? Post box on floor 6. And do we have library key? No. So we're going to floor 6 for the post box. Nice dodge. Okay. $5.12. Convenient. And to get to that was on floor 8, right? Yeah. So we'll go around in this floor since we burned that crap, and then go down and take that elevator. Those are all us, or our model. Those are all Elsters. There's quite a... So maybe we have been here before. Did we just come off the factory line and come straight here and get kicked down an elevator shaft? Is that what cushioned our fall? I thought that person's head was an item for a second. Yay, more files! I should just do a book on tape at this point. Replica Known Issues, Part 3. Same intro. Mina. This neural pattern is extremely stable. Little has to be done to keep Minas happy. They get along well with most other models thanks to their sometimes submissive, sometimes motherly personality. Unlike other models, diary keeping is not mandatory for persona stabilization. Small stuffed animals may be given as fetish objects, though those resembling cats should be avoided as they might cause resurfacing gestalt memories. Fuck Minas. Cats are the best. I don't even need a blanket, because I've got a hobby. Alright. Adler. Adler units work best when left alone. They do not mix well with their own type. They will usually become very emotionally dependent on their commander. Adlers are very susceptible to bioresonance suggestion, making them fairly easy to control. However, they become bored very easily and may need new fetish objects at regular intervals for stabilization. Replica Known Issues Part 4. Hey, Lilu. Great care this is Colibris. Great care should be given to Colibris. Their neural patterns are very unstable, and their bioresonance module makes them very susceptible to influence from others. Like most bioresonant individuals, Colibris will often subconsciously create an emotional feedback loop, imitating and then broadcasting the emotions of those around them, acting as a sort of amplifier. While they are trained to recognize and disengage this behavior, already unstable units can sometimes spiral into persona degradation. I tend to do that from time to time. Due to their bioresonant connection, neural pattern development in Colibris varies less than in other models. The constant exchange of memories and emotions between units of a cadre acts as a safety net that buffers extreme changes. However, once a majority of units in a cadre degrade, they will drag remaining units down with them. Because of this, it is important to decommission Colibri units instantly when they begin to degrade. For persona stabilization, Colibri should have access to a well-stocked library. And we get a repair spray for doing that, for all that reading. Colibri, we just read about you. Who are you? You're not one of our staff. The others, they've changed. We no longer sing in unison. I used to be able to see into their minds. We were as one. Together, we guided them all. But now, I can't understand their thoughts anymore. I've never been so alone before. They're still together, and I am here outside, and they won't let me in. I cannot stand their song anymore. This is the only place where I don't have to hear them. This is the only place I'm safe. Okay. Obstacle detected. Am I trying to get it to here? Trying to get it to that? I see. Over and down, that will not help. Going right does nothing, because we'll be blocked every direction. The king in yellow. Pick up astrally. Yes. Okay, that goes in the thing in the commander's office. Or the Adler's office. There. Was there... It says there's something here. Is it just that... We took a picture of that. I don't see what it means as far as it has like the symbol they put whenever there's something you need to unlock. No. Okay. Okay. Star is going to be north. So that's High Met. Got some posters. The pause symbol is Veneta. The rot front is a solid circle. Those are the two we have. So both of those are there. Okay, so if we twist this, Veneta, and High Mat, let's just say that they're mostly aligned, and then Rot Front would be southwest of it. No, I always do this. So like that. And if we were to twist... So this is either Kitsa or Bouillon. Because the furthest outward it goes is this star. Veneta. It's more inward, though, right? Is it more inward or outward? More inward. So it should be beneath. No, stop doing that. Okay, what did I miss? Maybe pointing southeast one? I feel like we got it right. Okay. Let's look at this again. Veneta, I mean, if it's not, I mean, it could be up left one. Like, that didn't look like a sharp enough angle in the photo for it to be up. But then again, I didn't get a true north photo. What a fucking reward, 11 pages of reading. I'm ready to play more game. Alright, 8421-D. I've started yet another new diary. How time flies. The work is dull and monotonous as ever in Sierpinski. But a bright light illuminates my day. Today, I was invited to a meeting by Commander Folk, and she was as magnificent as ever. 8421-D. Another day passes. During my meeting with the commander today, I felt the strangest sensation of familiarity as I sat with her. Sadly, our meeting was interrupted by an unexpected power outage. 8421-D. Okay. So we're just writing a whole bunch on the same day. I've been feeling strangely paranoid these days. Never before have I felt so strongly the sensation of deja vu as I have these past few days. 8421-D. When I checked the pages of my diary today, I noticed that for some inexplicable reason, I seem to have dated my previous entries with today's date. What an embarrassing mistake. I'll stop saying the name of the day now. Every day feels a bit like I've lived it before, and even stronger is the sensation that something is, somehow, just slightly out of place. Why is my diary filled with entries I cannot recall writing? Why are they all dated to today? Has the loss of my beloved commander finally gotten to my mind? Am I going insane? I fear what will happen to me if anyone finds out. I'm alone in this. If they discover my notes, I'll be decommissioned too. Something is wrong. I can feel it. Is this really madness? When I read the pages of my diary, I recall events that never happened. Yesterday it never was, yet it feels as real as the one I actually experienced. This cannot merely be a defect of my mind. It feels as though in this room, I peer into another version of reality. How? I do not know. Perhaps I, too, have become sick, like the others, without realizing it. But I will not succumb. A slow accumulation of reproduction errors, a gradual corruption of information, a story, misremembered, slowly morphing with each retelling, like genetic material mutating and evolving, like the replica mind copied over and over from an aging template. I do not know, but I will find out. The answers lie below. I can feel it. Someone or something calls me from there, in the mind. I feel like someone or something is calling us there too, because that's what, right next door? Yep. You're right at the door. You're like, it's too dark to see. Mineshaft access elevator controls. If she is still alive, she's probably there. Take the elevator to the mine? Yes. I know you're here. I've done this countless times before. You don't belong here. SIGNALIS? So, what has he done countless times before? Just get owned? Like, he knows she's there. Before we go to a different room, let's see if we missed anything here. He knows she's there, yet gets stabbed in the frickin' head. Maybe there's just a pile of him at the bottom of this. High power mining lasers. They're too large and heavy for me to use. That's too bad. Monofilament fiber. Less than 2 nanometer average diameter. Handle with care. Risk of death. Monofiber will effortlessly cut through limbs and equipment in an instant. Always wear protective clothing. Do not touch monofiber without proper protective gear. Only handle in brightly lit places. I'm gonna say that's more than a couple nanometers. Nitro Express. PFTE coated high power armor piercing 16mm Nitro Express rifle ammunition. Ammunition. Packs a punch. It's actually 80mm long too. 16 by 80 for all you curious people out there. Armor piercing. Tungsten carbide bullets. Coated in polytetrafluoroethylene. Polytetrafluoroethylene. Okay, that's a door. We got over here. Oh, was something just shining on the ground right there? I know, it's just an effect. Mining, nuclear tech, high security replica mine. Okay, so I'm gonna read the files in this room and then wrap up this video. I actually am kind of interested, so I'm gonna like take a little break and eat some dinner and then probably come back for one more chunk tonight. But let's get through this room. Alina's diary, 3. It's worse than I thought. Everyone has disappeared. Still haven't found any trace of Elster. It's as if she had never been here before. Something's wrong with the protectors, those that are still around. Guard spotted me earlier sneaking out of the medical wing, and she let out a monstrous scream as she chased after me. When I looked back, I saw her face, and now I can't forget. It looked like she'd been in some horrible accident. Flare gun? Let's combine that, and then we'll go back to using the handgun for now, just because we have so much ammo for it. I'm guessing we're going to be getting the rifle soon, and then we just got a flare gun. Let's see what that does. Single shot gun for firing 26.5mm emergency signal flare cartridges that incinerate target. Okay. So it's like a thermite, but you launch it. Yes, please. Something tells me that this is going to be pretty slim as far as ammo goes for that gun. That seems like... Let's leave some room to pick up some of this ammo too. Put that, and then let us save. All right. We'll stagger our saves. Still liking it. There was a lot of narrative in this segment, though. I'm hoping that there's a little tiny bit less reading. I'd honestly prefer they just give me some cutscenes with show don't tell at this point, because the cutscenes have been very short, but the journals and diaries and technical write-up, it's been a lot, and I'm ready to get back to puzzles and a little bit of combat. But I still am intrigued by this world and want to know more about what is going on. Hopefully you do too. We will figure it out shortly together. Until next time.